home, they should finish the written work first, the homework. So written, because it's the easiest thing to do, and one stays in continuity from what we have learned. First is written homework done. The second, so you take a 5-10 minutes break. By the way, a break should never be a long one, because then you get busy in the games or taking or doing some other activity, and then you lose. So finish your written work in the beginning. The second thing is take out your textbooks of which you've had your timetable today. So you revise what has been taught in school today. Revise would mean quickly go read them, underline the important things, try to memorize, not memorize, try to recall, and get on with revision. Revision which means give about 15 minutes to half an hour. Talking about primary years now, 15 minutes to half an hour to your each subject, and you must keep 30 minutes to practicing maths, irrespective. It's like a habit you have to do. You have to. So you take out a textbook. You can repeat the sums. It's okay, because it's all. And then in the evening, then you have your a little milk break or a food break for a physical game. A lot of parents do complain that, "Ma'am, हमारे पास जगह नहीं है, कहाँ बच्चे को भेजें? It's not very safe, and we don't have a club or a community, where the kid can go." Be more creative, parents. You can think of better ideas. Skipping, evergreen skipping, cycling. It could be, just a sprint. Very effective methods that the child can be doing some kind of physical some exercise. A simple badminton game. You don't need to have a court for it. We all know that. You can play in a small court. So that's important in the evening. And then what happens is, after you've had your little leisure time with family, spend some time with family, with mom. See, nowhere am I mentioning television. Now you wonder, which century should this woman come from, Dr. Madhumati Singh? Yes, weird. But over the years, I figured out that and I'm sure a lot of parents too have also figured out, that TV is perhaps the most passive couch potato syndrome technology. It's a one-sided communication. Have you noticed somebody watching television? Have you noticed their expressions? It's bored. Really, they're just flipping channels. I've not seen somebody extremely thrilled watching television for a long time. So request parents. Technology is very good. There's lots of information there. And I'm not talking about Animal Planet. It's good to watch a good comedy show. It's good to watch 5 Minutes Craft. It's good to watch the things that is happening in different planets outside of the Earth, etc., etc. Where do you find that? You can't be surfing channels. So I'd request parents, please do get into something known as smart TV, which means get into Netflix, YouTube's, Facebook videos. Very, very centric, focused entertainment time. Over the weekend, choose a movie which everybody wants to see. Great idea. Great. Do away with television. Give it away to maybe some institute. Give it away to somebody who's needy. You don't need it. So coming back to no television, it's one of the most. It's a complete waste of time. If imagine you don't have TV in your house, there is no you don't have the Tata Sky, so you would land up playing Samp CD. You would maybe want to go and help your mom and say, "Mom, what are you making?" Etc. There's so much to do beyond television. After a little leisure time in the evening, we were talking about effective habits, effective study habits. So after a little leisure time with family, make sure you have an early dinner, which is 8:30 is pretty good. There are some parents who say that, "Ji, Papa to ji 10 baje 11 baje aate hain." Papa weekend pe kha lenge bachchon ke sath. Please don't maneuver your timetable according to what suits you, because then their routine gets disrupted. And children often, especially in some business families, we noticed, or in some families where the mother says कि पापा देर से आते हैं तो बच्चा हम दोपहर को सुला देते हैं. Please don't do that, because then the kid sleeps very late, and then when they sleep late, they're not able to get up early, and then they're sleepy in the classroom. Very weird. Weekdays पे strict regimentation रखिए. Sleep time का, waking up time का, study time का, strict, very strict. You follow it strictly. And leisure time मतलब games का time. बहुत सारे फैमिली मेंबर्स नहीं करते हैं इस चीज को लेके. कैश होते चले गए. चल बेटा शॉपिंग चल मेरे साथ. Look at the timetable. Now, where do you look at the timetable? The important thing is the next step of effective study habits. Lot of family members or parents come and tell me, मैम जी उसके स्टडी में है, उसके कबर्ड के जो उसके अंदर चिपकाया हुआ है. मैंने कहा कोई सीक्रेट है? So they start laughing. मैम क्या मतलब? I said, let the timetable be in a common area. It should be in the dining area. It should be in the kitchen. जहाँ पर आवागमन हो लोगों का. और लोगों का कौन? Even family. There are a lot of times the grandparents don't know about the child's routine, and they feel offended because they don't know. They said, अरे भाई बेटे को भेजना, तो जी बहुरानी कहती हैं कि जी बच्चे का पढ़ाई का टाइम है. They think अच्छा जी बहाना मार रही है. They don't want my grandchild to come to me. Misinformation. So it would be effective if you have a timetable. You should have a timetable in a place where it is visible to all. It also gives a reason for the child to be answerable. 5 बजे 5 से 5:30 मैथ्स प्रैक्टिस है, दिख रहा है. आप ऐप नहीं खेल सकते, कैंडी क्रश नहीं कर सकते तब. So you are also answerable. That means the student is answerable to the timetable that he or she is keeping. So once you have a timetable, most of the aspects of effective study habits are taken care of. Lot of times parents come and tell me, ma'am, we have a timetable, follow नहीं होता है. तो मैं तो वही जवाब देती हूँ कि हाँ सर हमारे स्कूल में टाइम टेबल है लेकिन फॉलो नहीं करते टीचर्स. सो ये से ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? टीचर्स को तो फॉलो करना है. When that can be followed, then if you don't follow the timetable, then it's of no use. A lot of times also, okay, I must mention, in middle school or even senior school, kids tell, ma'am, हमारा timetable change होता रहता है. That's okay. That's all right. But change होना doesn't mean आज एक चीज है फिर अगले दिन कल चेंज हो गया, तीसरे दिन फिर चेंज हो गया. The changes can happen maybe every 2 months, a little tweaking बोलते हैं उसको. आप चेंज में ये नहीं कर सकते आपका अगर सोने का टाइम 10:30 बजे है तो आपने चेंज करके उसको 2 बजे कर दिया. It's not okay. A lot of times we do have arguments with the senior schools, especially kids who say, ma'am, no, you're wrong. You know, I have better concentration when I'm studying at night, etc., etc. There is research evidence to show that in the long term benefits are only when we comply by the circadian cycle. The evening, the sunset and sunrise, because that is commensurate with our biochemicals, our hormones. And in the long run, for long-term benefit, it is good to get in the practice of doing optimal studies in the daytime. And nighttime is for sleeping, shutting down. So that particular thing, of course, like if a kid is not studying, अगर उसने पढ़ाई नहीं करी है और उसका कल एग्जाम है तो वो सारी रात बैठ के पढ़ेगा ना, और हो सकता है पास भी हो जाए. But that's crisis management, and crisis management happens very rarely. We are talking about effective study habits. Effective study habits means having a routine or having a timetable which is consistent. So that is one thing about. Now you'll be saying, okay, that is okay. What else? You know, you'll be surprised. हम अभी टाइम टेबल या इफेक्टिव स्टडी हैबिट में टाइम टेबल बता रहे थे वीकडे के बारे में, जब बच्चा स्कूल से घर जाता है. What happens on a weekend or on a holiday? lot of times the response is, क्या मैम हॉलिडे में तो हॉलिडे ही होता है, वही सब लोग 11 बजे उठते हैं, नाश्ता करेंगे, 2 बजे तक सोचते हैं क्या करना चाहिए मार्केट, ये वो 4 बज गए, ओहो बैग पैक करो, we're done. We completely sleepwalk our holidays, and effective study habits becomes more powerful if you are smart to uh, I've done experiments. I mean, we've talked when I have workshops with children, and I said, okay, I want you to tell me what do you do on a Sunday. So they all write down on a paper. What do you generally do? So we say, okay, exchange it with your partner. Let them see and you change it. Pretty much same, which is that you get up at 10, 11, and blah, blah, all that I mentioned. Now we say, okay, let's flip it. Can you change it some which ways? Can you put in some hours? Yeah, it's possible. Suppose you don't think it's Sunday. It is a full working day. Is it possible to do that? So it is possible. And a lot of kids are surprised that when they alter their holiday home timetable, they are able to put in at least 6 hours of studies. Just like that, easily, without issues. उसमें वो मूवी भी देख लेते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं, फोन पे व्हाट्सएप भी कर लेते हैं, सो लेते हैं, अच्छे से खाना, everything happens. So, and holiday and making it effective timetable is another way of having a head start. You can move forward with a lot of things. Now comes few things about effective study habits which I thought I should talk about, because these are little things which we may miss out on. The few things are that the place of study has to be fixed. It could be the dining table. A lot of times the home is smaller, bedrooms are shared. A table and a chair, very important, preferably in a well-lit place, reasonably well-lit, first point. Second point, even if it's a first-standard child, the child should have a little space in the house where she or he has her books, her textbooks, her school things in that place. It cannot be ki abhi papa ko room mein rakh do, yahan rakh do, no. So organized study place, like we say workstation. So it's study station, very important. Second factor. Third factor is in your effective study habits, you must balance out. There are children who sometimes say that we're not into sports, ma'am, what can we do? I said, what else do you like doing? You're a student, what else do you like? So one of them said that I like singing because just freestyle singing. Okay, so they do that, musically yours. What a great idea. So you need to balance study, which is your homework, your revision work, your written work, your maths practice, with the little fun things that you enjoy doing. Very important. That will keep you refreshed. Effective study habits has one more very important element. It has to be target oriented. टारगेट होता तो है पेरेंट्स का 90% लाओ, वो कहता है मुझे करना ही नहीं है, पढ़ना ही नहीं है, टाइम टेबल बन गया नहीं पढ़ना. Target has to be of the child. So if you've noticed, parents don't have any primary years generally. It's correct also, because they don't have periodic. They generally don't focus on whether you should get 9 CGPA or 10 or 8 or 7. That only happens when the assessment mode becomes percentage based. Within that, let the child decide. ये आप जरूर कह सकते हो कि बेटा मैंने नोटिस किया है कि आपके ये वाले सब्जेक्ट्स आ रहे हैं. Any reason why? So be curious, be helpful, try to pitch in if you can, but let the child decide. We don't listen to what the child wants to do. So it should be goal oriented. Effective study habits definitely includes a lot of things. One of them is nutrition. It's very, especially kids ask me, the bored kids who are about to take their pre-boards or their board exams, 10th and 12th. A lot of times they do want this handy hints of how to be more effective. That's where what we say is that you need to have a balanced diet. And it's not just exam time. Brahmacharya, healthy. You have you noticed the more and more children are getting overweight. More and more children are not into sports. So more and more children are on Facebook and WhatsApp and the gizmos, the all these gadgets, which means that they're not leading a very healthy life. There is high incidence of blood pressure, essential hypertension in children, obese. They are overweight. There are problems like that that's happening. So you need to keep a balanced diet. Your food has to be light. It has to be more proteins, definitely calcium, proteins, calcium, all the vitamins, minerals, and go minimum on what, the junk food. Junk food is basically carbs and starch, quick energy. You will get quick energy, you get a high and then it'll go down. The fizz drinks, all the carbonated drinks are very high on sugar. We all know it's all there in FairGaze. So be a little more balanced out, and keep a bottle of water when you are studying. Keep it on the study table. Dehydration leads to sleepiness, lack of concentration, and not able to retain, irritability, skin issues, and so on. Keep yourself hydrated. Do make sure when you're a little peckish, instead of saying, mom, sandwich bana do, ya burger bana do, go in for a snack which is healthy. It could be a fruit, it could be a shake, a fruit shake, banana shake, mango shake. It could be a salad. Soups are fabulous around the corner. So it's very important to keep yourself healthy. So within effective study habits, the first and the last, I would say, story begins from there and it ends there. That till the time you do not follow it meticulously, till that time, it is not going to be effective. A lot of times kids say that, ma'am, we put in those number of hours. We put in. I have a timetable. I study. I put in a lot. I work so hard, but I don't get the desired result. What happens in that case? What is going wrong? So what I discovered in these so many years of my work with kids is that the parents and the teachers and the student, all of them start to focus on the subject that they are weak at. Usko improve karo. And the good subject slowly slides down a bit because they're putting in more time and effort there. Isme number kyun nahi aa raha hai? That's not smart. You know why? Because all of us who have been in school will have a favorite subject and a not so favorite subject. I love the subject, I hate the subject. So जो love वाले subjects है ना, उनको optimal करो. Love वाले, make them superb. The hate वाले subjects, get your passing marks 50%, 60% passing. So what I'm saying to you, passing doesn't mean ma'am is saying get 40, so I'm not going to study at all. No, that why I meant 40% is that there are some children who may be falling in the spectrum of. They may have something known as dyscalculia, which means fear of numbers, or it could be dysgraphia. Dysgraphia means fear of language. As you must have seen Tare Zameen Par, where the alphabets are reversed and just can't make the head or tail out of it. It is a learning difficulties, and a lot of children do have some spectrum of that. So, uska matlab ye hai ki sometimes a kid. So I look at a kid's report card. I say, okay, why have you got 40% in SST? So the kid said, ma'am, I don't know. I said, I'll tell you why you don't know is because you haven't opened your book. Yes, ma'am. I opened my book just a day or two before the exams. So what happens is that it's not that you are dumb. It's just that you've not been consistent with your timetable. You have to revise on the study table. You cannot be revising when the TV is on, mummy papa baat kare, bed pe lete baat aap padha to nahi padha. That's not padha. So please make sure that you optimize on subjects which are your favorite and do your best. Don't put too much of energies into your not so favorite subjects. A kid hates Sanskrit. Sanskrit is not going to be there in ninth, if I recall right. I think it's still eighth. So within that, pass marks ले आओ, forget it, leave it. तक maths है, dyscalculia है उसको, acute dyscalculia है. सिलेबस में 10 सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, 10 चैप्टर्स हैं, 10 में से आपका फेवरेट 5 चैप्टर्स निकालो. 5 चैप्टर्स को आप अच्छे से कर लो. 5 को छोड़ दो. Chances are you will pass. So what I'm saying is effective study habits does not mean going haphazard. Figure out your strengths, figure out your weaknesses, and optimize on your strengths. That is another thing.
Start question.
Please, I'm tired now.
So, one of a student, he's in class 12 and follows 95% of effective study habits. The only thing that clogs his mind is peer pressure, and now his focus shifts from studies to handle those pressures. He wanted to know how to deal such things and how he can concentrate fully on studies.
Okay. So peer pressure generally for a 12th is, yaar itna pad liya, itna kar liya, the whole competition of how much you have studied. You know what? 90% of the what feedback your friends give you about their studies may not be true. So don't believe in what your friends are saying about studies and how much they're putting in, what kind of coaching they're taking. Don't take it on face value because we don't know what is happening in the other house. Just focus on your goals because you are only competing with yourself.
There's another question. There's a girl, Sneha. She's saying, I'm experiencing a lot of changes in my personality and my study habits. Last year, I joined university and met new experiences. Those experiences were devastating as I was not that socialized and unable to cope up with situations. Now, when I want to come back out of it, the memories haunt me and thus affecting my studies majorly. My CGPA dropped down. Please advise me something.
Okay. Every phase of our life teaches us something or the other. School life is very protected. We're all very secure within that. The moment we get out of school is this whole new universe. And we don't have a manual. So, especially the first year of college is perhaps the most tumultuous. You get a lot of experiences, good, bad, ugly, indifference. Which means it's not you only who's getting that. Almost everybody goes through a lot in that first 1 year. Now, if you're saying it's haunting you, why would it haunt you? Because there's more to life. You would get more experiences. You mean everything is going to haunt you? Something maybe disturbed you, maybe you're guilty about something, maybe you're upset about something. Let that be a learning experience. Life teaches you lessons. Nothing is absolute. So put it all behind and say, I learned something. Don't say haunting. Just say, I'll replace the word haunting to what have you learned? And it'll help you. And this happens with everyone. So no big deal.
Ma'am, there's another question. Like, workstation really matters if you are studying. So do you think workstation really matters?
Study station, you mean?
Yeah, study station basically.
Yes.
What is the impact of it when you?
Very important. I don't care about the aura. I don't know much. So,
is it helpful in concentration and all those
yes.
things?
So to have a study station, it need not be a room. It could be a part of a room. You have a cupboard which is yours. You have a table, a chair which is yours. Of course, it can be shared, but you need to yours. Why is it effective? Is the moment you come there subconsciously, your mind focuses on studies. Just like subconsciously, when you look at the bed, it invites, come, सो जाते हैं, cozy, अभी winters आ रहे हैं तो बस रजाई में ओढ़ के सो जाओ. The bed says, come, sleep. How can the bed say, come, let's revise valencies of chemistry? Cannot say that. That's why a lot of kids say, मैम पढ़ते हैं, नींद बहुत आती है. आप टेबल पे नहीं बैठे हो. There's another thing somebody was saying, मैं नहीं मैम, बैठे बैठे ना मुझे नींद आ जाती है. So I asked them, I said, खड़े होकर कभी सोए हो? So they start laughing. खड़े होके. I said, stand up, get up, start pacing. Movies में देखा है, start pacing. You won't sleep. Other effective ways are to avoid that. It's that laziness. Perhaps you're dehydrated. I just mentioned to you earlier that sometimes dehydration leads to drowsiness. Do make sure to keep sipping water. Sipping water is very effective. The second thing can be take a cold pack like a cotton rumal ले लो, कोई भी रुमाल, ठंडा पानी उसमें डाल के just dab your eyes like that. We never do it. We know everything. करते नहीं हैं. So you try करो, it works. Great, हो गया सारा. Thank you very much. Okay जी. Good going.